My name is Bruno Bertini. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for 8x8. 8x8 is a business communications company. We've been in the business for quite some years, but it's a company that has been reinventing itself. And our story, which is a little bit of my story, is a story about growth, is a story about change, and is a story about moving fast. When I think about why I took this job, I've been here 16, 17 months so far. I always believed that this company had a very interesting story to tell. Not only a story inside our walls, but a story outside of our walls. I think when we go inside of our walls as the Chief Marketing Officer, I'm a believer that marketing plays a big role in aligning the company, in supporting the company, and also moving the company forward, which means growth. I think we're the glue between sales, product, and that growth, that triangle. If you want to grow, if you want to expand categories, which is a little bit what we're doing, we're moving from business communications into customer experience in a very commoditized, very fast-paced marketing with AI changing everything as we speak. You need to move fast. You need to make sure that you're transforming your team and you're transforming marketing as fast, or if not faster, than the world outside. I think one of the main reasons for me was, how can we do that with partners that can help us go in the right direction? That's what puts me here today. And I think this is the beginning of the story of 8x8 and HockeyStack. The world before HockeyStack, it was probably a multiverse of stuff, right? So as much as this is a story about simplifying and moving faster, it's also a story of eliminating complexity, because we had in-house homegrown systems, some very good, to be honest, some good stuff, but a lot of those were homegrown, complex, hard to maintain, not aligned to the data. And my main concern was a multi-touch system, right? How could we have something that is modern, easy, that goes all the way from a good back end to a good front end, and that we can put the two and two together. The speed that we're moving, I need answers really fast. My head of demand gen needs answers really fast. My SDR needs answers really fast. We're working hand in hand with our CRO, reporting to our CEO. So it's more like, how could we have a platform that runs at the speed that we are running and that allows us to tweak things on the fly? So this is not last touch, this is multi-touch. It's a mix of two. No, it's not this source, it's that source. So it's basically having something that is not only the right data, but it's very easy for us to run with it. So with our old platform, our old system that was homegrown, it was very hard for me to go full funnel. And I'm in the business of going all the way down to bookings, all the way down to looking at renewals, which is really what grows the business. So it was very hard for me to kind of have that accountability of where things are getting stuck. What's the conversion rate from this part of the funnel to that part of the funnel, all the way back to a campaign and an ad. So how do we get faster and all of that? What are the things that are working? What are the things that are not? From a campaign perspective, which could be one paid media campaign going all the way to, we're doing sales acceleration through a deal that's direct or indirect. So putting all of those pieces together was quite hard. To me, it was a no-brainer that if we wanted to change this company, increase our ROI and move much faster, we needed a partner that not only had the right platform, but to me, more important than the platform, had the people that I could trust to support me in that partnership. So I think to me, the most important thing is not only what's the right information, but it's the culture of leading with the right piece of data, leading with an accountability on ROI. And everyone talks about this. You hear that all the time. Every CMO, every chief growth officer, every CRO is going to say, yeah, the data. But I think to get that to a level where the data is very actionable, where you know what you're doing, what you need, where this comes from, I think that's the hardest thing. There's lots of examples where we're doing very, very innovative things with HockeyStack, from doing reports that help us understand progression of deals at a stage, at the right point of the journey, meaning which stage in the sales cycle, going back to what's the next best action, meaning the campaign that can help us move that to the next stage, taking that up a notch and saying, what are the right sources for the business? Where revenue is coming? Is it coming from a direct, from a channel, from an indirect perspective? So all of those things combined, you can go from something that's very singular to something that's very high level in a very good way. I have the privilege that every time I needed something, or that I had an idea, or that I had a challenge, I would send Bugra a message and he always responded. So maybe I've been spoiled by the fact that I had access to the mothership, which I'm very grateful for. So that might blind the perspective, but also made my experience with HockeyStack and with the team pretty great, because I think my team has been supported at their levels, and I've been supported, meaning I always had someone that could understand my business and talk about, like, what are we doing, where are we going as a company, and hey, Booger, I had this idea about this, and he's like, well, that doesn't exist in the product, but well, hey, we can help you get that done, and it might become the product. So I'm very happy with the experience. I think it's a story of two companies moving ahead very fast. It's a story about two companies innovating together. And it's a story about a partnership of people that care about doing the right thing at the right time, which I'm very proud of. I'm very grateful for. I think the next step for me is how can we make sure that most of the C-level dashboards, the board dashboards, the things that run the business, that connect marketing back to the engine of growth are there. Some are there, not all of them are there. So how do we make HockeyStack even more strategic in the role it plays for 8x8, the role it plays connecting different points of 8x8. I think that's a big opportunity. I think that will elevate the role of the platform, but that will also make sure that the data is flowing in the right way, which gives us better decisions as a business. I'm very grateful for the partnership. So I think this is also a moment of gratitude for the partnership between HockeyStack and 8x8, between the team and my team. I'm happy that we're always connected, that the team is always available. I'm happy that you guys are sensitive to the speed that we're running, to the objectives that we have, which is grow the company and help our customers. So I think this is an opportunity for us to say thank you. Thank you for the partnership.